What is going on, guys? We're 2 minutes too early. You missed me last week. I just didn't do it. You know, there were other things going on. And I simply didn't have time to do a live stream last week. So hopefully everybody's fantastic. These 2 days after the 4th of July, you can kind of see that I have some fireworks going here. Yeah. Hope everybody's well. And we have a couple things we can talk about this evening. But first, you know, I always like to open this up and figure out where the hell everybody's at. So where are you? If you're in this chat room, we're going to gain more people as we go, but I don't know. I always like to know where people are at, where they're joining us from across the globe. So let me know in this chat room, Charles, where in the hell you're at. I'm going to take my headphones off. Maybe we'll take off those, maybe we'll take off the fireworks too. Colorado, here we go. Now people are starting to show up. Dylan, good evening from Tampa, Florida. I think, you know, Florida's pretty cool. I don't know, it's getting kind of crazy these last few years, but the weather's pretty good. Chris is from Nova Scotia. Joel from Modesto. Hello. Brandon, I saw your comment in the chat. What are those called? Comments? Are they called comments if they're in the chat? I'm glad you got that 180R. Just go play paintball. Dylan says it's 108 in Tampa on the heat index. That's not very good. It was actually 108 here last weekend. I think it's supposed to be 108 here next weekend. Like actually 108. But at least it's not humid, you know. Josh, hello from Brooklyn. Okay, what are we going to talk about? Let's see what we got to talk about. I don't know why, like, my, super chat light system is all, kind of wacky. I'm going to, restart something really fast. Let's see. Hold. I was going to say bear with me. Bear with me. Come on, start it up, baby. Let's go. What is happening? Oh, there we go. Sometimes this stupid software, it's just ridiculous. 108 with 115 index. But we got some rain. It rained today. Gosh, it doesn't ever rain where I'm at, which is actually something I prefer. So it's okay. Let's just look at this right away. So this has been something that is not really, we'll say, a new product, but maybe something that's a little bit desired by a lot of paintball players out there. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go there. Hold on. Come on, there we go. I don't know if we have audio on this or not. We'll just put it really low. The JT Revolution. The Revolution is back. The Revolution they didn't make for a few years there, really maybe about 3 to 4. COVID killed the thing. It just got too expensive to keep manufacturing. So it's back. Now that, you know, all that manufacturing is quite a bit cheaper. Well, not cheaper, it's just kind of back to normal shipping and stuff like that. And one thing that I really liked and was kind of surprised by is the price of these things. So they're only $50. I was kind of shocked. The Revolution has kind of been that price forever. Can we loop this somehow? The Revolution's kind of been that inexpensive, decent electronic hopper forever. I mean, I think these were introduced probably for this before we started. I've got a Revolution somewhere. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say that it's pretty much the exact same thing we've been seeing for a while now. So there was a stint maybe in 2008, somewhere around there, 2012, in that time frame when the Revolution was made out of very brittle and not very good plastic. So it's kind of the same plastic or same softer style plastic that we've seen for probably the last 8-ish to 10 years. So I really like how they've kind of stayed with that high quality plastic and really just decided to come back out with the thing. So I'm a fan of the Revolution, although honestly I think that even when I'm playing mechanical, I'll probably still continue to use my Spire just because it feeds that much quicker. You know, when we're playing mechanical, I'm not getting high rates of fire. It's just really like quick bursts, right? I'll shoot like 3 to 5 paintballs really quick, and the Revolution is not going to get out those like remaining 1 or 2 when you're shooting that like 8 ball a second quick shooting-ish. So I really like that the like Spires and stuff are able to just keep up with that like little faster rate of fire. These things are mega slow, so I think they're probably good for pump players, but maybe not so much electronic guns, or if you have like a quicker finger on that mechanical frame, it's probably not the best hopper still. Yeah. Somebody give a do. I still have the OG Revy from like 2004, you said, which is probably one of those good old school soft ones, which I really like. Sharp Trout. So there is a JT Revolution. So there is a Revolution from JT, but no Triad. Yeah, who knows what's happened with that Triad? I mean, the Triad was almost released 2 years ago at this point. The Triad, I think we first saw, what was it, 2021 at World Cup in like November? It's been almost 2 years. I know they've had multiple versions of that thing come and go, and they've just not been able to perfect it enough to put it on sale. I don't quite understand. I know that they keep trying to kind of modify the ones that they already have rather than completely redesign it. Apparently they've been trying like little tweaks and stuff to get the thing a little bit more reliable. But I don't really know what the exact problem with the Triad is. I know that it's had like miscellaneous problems. Sometimes they're not feeding, sometimes the batteries aren't lasting long, sometimes they're just shutting off. It's kind of crazy. The Wise Guy. Interview Bear DiGio, probably not going to happen. That man doesn't get enough credit he deserves in paintball. Like what? Like what? Tell me what he doesn't get the credit for, and then maybe we'll interview him. I just don't do a lot of interviews. I mean, really, when there's been like 2 interviews I've ever done on this channel throughout the years, I just find them so boring. You know? I don't know. I think Bear's dad, Gio, right? Probably deserves more credit. I mean, he's the guy who, you know, runs SC Village and Hollywood Sports Park and Giant Paintball and all that stuff. But Bear definitely has something to do with it, but I think it's mainly his pop that kind of started that. It's Bear. He was on the Spick and Span last night doing the same thing. Was he actually on the Spick and Span show? I kind of want to talk about that. I put in the link of the description. There is a having trouble talking. There is a link in the description of this over to the Spick and Span like live stream, and I really liked these. The past 2 they did. They did I think yesterday. And then on the previous Tuesday, as they always do, they had good guests on. Dan Napoli was on there. Dan Napoli has made some of paintball's like most historic paintball videos. He made like the serial killer stuff. That's all I can think about at the moment. And Matt Marshall was on there, and they really just talked about what they could do to get paintball on TV. There's a lot of good ideas in there. And I'm full on with it. I'd really like to see stuff just tried, you know. I think that we're a little bit timid, and I think that the NXL is a little bit timid to change formats because they think of their customers, right? And at the Division 4 level, or, you know, D2 or something like that, I think maybe leaving that format alone, and then maybe we could look at the Pro Division and only change the Pro Division and mix it up. I think that one thing that A lot of the pro players in paintball, I went like this, like I'm pro. A lot of the pro players in paintball and, you know, NBA players and NFL players, none of them want the rules to change because it's what they're doing and it's what they like. But at the same time, you know, the whole reason the NFL exists, or the NBA, or the NXL Pro Division, is because people are watching it. If there was no spectators watching, if no one cared, who's gonna watch the thing? So I'm all for like trying all kinds of crazy stuff. One of the things that I kind of thought about during that Spick and Span show, and they've kind of touched on it, that there been like one-on-one events recently. Maybe not recently, 3 years ago we had, let's just pull it up on here. 3 years ago we had, let's go to Go Sports. Go Sports. Eric with a $9.99 super chat. You're so amazing, and that freaking light took a while. What the heck is SFD? But yeah, hit the like button, guys. I appreciate those, Eric. You're freaking awesome. Super chats are literally the only way I can justify doing this. Anyway, that's not what I was talking about. One of the things I was thinking about during their chat about, you know, what paintball could be, is the ultimate shootout. I mean, if we look at, let's just go back to their page really fast. We'll sort by popular, and if you can see, you know, it's got 2 million views compared to 685 as their second most popular video. So I even think that just spectator stuff shows that, you know, ultimate shootout is cool. It was a one-on-one thing. You can kind of see that there's 2 different buzzers right here. You get different points for hitting specific buzzers. I really like this ultimate shootout thing. I think that, you know, it'd be cool to possibly see different versions of this or something like this in the Pro Division. One-on-ones are not the most popular, but it's way more fun to watch them. Spick and Span show, yeah, I really like their conversation. You guys should go watch it. There's a link in the description to go watch that. Dylan, HK Army, Mark Crescent, is bringing some celebs into paintball. I have seen them do like various things with different like YouTubers or influencer style people, which isn't necessarily bad, you know? Yeah, I don't know. My thoughts on that though is that, like, you know, these companies should better help support the current people in paintball rather than people that have nothing to do with it. I kind of think that that'd be a good idea. Colin, do you think TV would help grow it? Probably not. Do young people even care about TV? Nope. And I don't know if we necessarily, when we say TV too, I don't necessarily know if that means like ESPN and like, you know, Fox Sports Net, necessarily like real TV, you know. It could even be on some, you know, streaming platform somewhere. It could be here on YouTube even. It could, you know, be on Amazon. We could put it on something else. It doesn't necessarily have to be like real TV. I think that just YouTube is kind of a missed opportunity, though, for a lot of stuff. So, yeah. The Wise Guy says Alex Goldman is the most overhyped Snake player. I don't think so. I mean, I've watched Alex Goldman play in real life, and he's pretty goddamn good. I don't know who else though. If he's the most overhyped, that means that he's probably not the best. Who's the best Snake player? Street Fighter Designs. Okay, there we go. I don't know. Best Snake players. Maybe Billy Bernaccia. Billy Bernaccia is really good. Billy Bernaccia, I was going to say Chad George. That was going to be my next one. Chad George and Billy Bernaccia are both really good. Yeah, I don't know. That's true, though. They're all three of those guys are really good. Alex Goldman just has, like, physical abilities that most of those guys don't have. So I think maybe it kind of shows, maybe it looks cooler because he's like faster and, you know, something like that. So it just looks better. He's really good though. I mean, right, like I'm in Sacramento, so I've watched Impact practice many times, you know, because they come here for practice a lot. He's pretty good. They're all really good though, so I don't know. Brandon, when X is in the semis/quarterfinals, Billy is always the snake guy. Oh, in X Factor. Oh yeah, for sure. Who's their other snake player? I don't even know. I can't think about it. My predictions for World Cup, I got no idea. Who? I don't know. We were talking about one-on-one stuff. Let's talk more about one-on-one stuff. Let's open this. I'm gonna put my headphones on so I can hear a little bit. Hopefully this opens. I don't know what's going on here. Go. YouTube is not loading stuff. Let's try it this way. It worked that way. So this, people have been kind of paying attention. Last weekend was Oliver Lang's first elite, not last. Oh, here we go. Audio's a little loud. Not last weekend, the weekend before. And this is the second installment of the Elite Tour. Ooh, looks like he got shot off the break right there, man. You're gonna answer him right back with an ace of his own. That was pretty good. And what you're watching right now is the Joust. No, it's not. It's the Duel. There's two versions of this. There's the Duel, where it's just kind of like. Messier gonna walk the point in. Kind of like race to 10, really. It's like race to 10 one-on-ones. So you play the same guy until someone scores 10 points. There's a mercy rule of 7. But yeah. So that's straight thought. Then there's the Joust, which is 20 versus 20, but we're still all playing one-on-ones. And you have like a general who's in charge. This is the first time they did this live stream, though. You can find it over on the Hormesis well, yeah, probably on Facebook, but the Hormesis YouTube. There's also a link in the description to find this thing. So this was in Boston. The next one's going to be in New Jersey. Registration's open right now. It's $75 to play, I think, both days. And it's, let's find out. We can just open this registration page real fast. $75.
10 seconds to the next point.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm like wrong about that though.
Yes, here, ready to go.
Oh well, $75. It looks pretty fun. I mean, I really like the idea. We were just talking about experimenting with paintball, and I think this is a good idea. I think that Oliver kind of carries a little bit of clout, a little bit of cachet that most of these players don't have. So he's going to, I think, be able to draw more people, draw more sponsorship, draw more eyes. It looks really good. It looks really cool. There's a couple other videos out there. Let's find... This is Wiles Media. I know I've seen... I think that's pronouncing that right. There you are, right there in the goddamn chat. I was like, I know I've seen you around here. We're going to watch your video right now. There's also a link in the description. Tell me if I'm saying that right. Wiles, right? Wiles Media. I was watching it earlier. I think that I like this. I think that I like this more than the live stream content because you can kind of see it quite a bit better. We're gonna actually lower. I really like it. There's. So this is cool. So is there, I know there was sideline coaching in one of them. Is there sideline coaching in the Joust, which is classic kind of one-on-one tournament? No, I'm wrong again. Is there coaching in the duel? The duel's that classic one-on-one, or is there coaching in the joust? Sideline coaching. Or no, there's not really coaching. I think that they said they like encouraged spectator commentary or something like that. I know that I would not be good at this. I don't really like one-on-ones. I'm not a fan of the one-on-one because I'm not very good. I don't have like a good shot or anything. The Oliver Lang Elite One-on-One Tour. Let's go to find some different angles. Oh, there we go. Up in the tower. Those are probably the good ones. So Saturday was the joust, though, right? Sideline, no joust, no voice on duel. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't think that there was, I mean, so coaching the joust, which is like 20 on 20 big one, that's the one I think that they kind of encouraged a little bit of fan participation with. But look at how close you are. It's kind of crazy how like you're only like half the field away really off the start. Pretty crazy. The Oliver Lang Elite whatever tour. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, I just like to see us try stuff, right? I think that, you know, one of the cool things about paintball, you know, we get to do this so many different ways. You know, we have, you know, 10-man and 5-man, and we can turn into this one-on-one stuff. There's just so many different things that, I don't know, I wish that I'd just like to see all the different ways we can play paintball, that's all. Yeah. New Jersey. So the next one, let's go and look at the map, see where it's at. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Having trouble hitting buttons. There we go. Quick Shot Paintball. Quick Shot Paintball, somewhere here. Quick Shot Paintball. I don't know where they're doing it. I guess they're gonna like do it here or something. I'm not sure. I don't think you could do it there. That's like structures and buildings and stuff. That's not a paintball field. That's just someone's backyard, it looks like. Quick Shot Paintball is the next one this weekend. Couple days here. In just a few short days. There's also other stuff going on this weekend. Let's see if this website goes. Let's see if this goes anywhere. So this was a few weeks ago. Well, no, this is MAO. What am I watching? That's not what I want to watch. Well, I was going to say this weekend is NXL Europe, the second NXL Europe event of the year. There's only going to be 3 of the tournaments, though. And, you know, COVID kind of crushed NXL Europe. Before, NXL Europe, let's say like 2019, had all the divisions we'd be used to, right? You'd have Pro, Semi-Pro, Division 2, Division 3, and I think Division 4. And COVID absolutely destroyed it. So last year, there were also 3 tournaments, but only Pro, Semi-Pro, and WNXL. And the same thing is happening this year. So this coming tournament, they have 20 pro teams, 18 semi-pro teams, and 4 WNXL teams. There's a lot of teams, if you guys have been following, like, you know, European paintball or pro paintball for a very long time. There's a lot of teams in there that we're kind of used to seeing, which is, you know, I think fantastic. So it just kind of means that they like weathered out, you know, COVID, and we're all okay. So we see Joy Division, we got Tauntauns. I don't know who this is. This is weird. I was looking at this team earlier. I don't know what is going on there. They're from Poland, though. The Tauntauns, Camp Carnage, Breakout Spa, the Bad Boys, Lucky 15th, Camp Pendleton Raiders. from San Diego. We have PP Arena Outrage. Austin FSU, which is kind of a bunch of random people. I did find it kind of weird, though, because if we go here to the current roster for FSU, for Austin Notorious, they're not Notorious, sorry. Diego is on there. Diego's the guy who originally started the Latin Saints. So he's the guy who got Kyle Spick and Alex Goldman and all those guys to go play with the Latin Saints. So it's interesting that he's on there. But you can still see all those, big European teams. So I like it. It's pretty cool. We can actually watch the live stream here on the new Major League Paintball YouTube channel. So they're going to have all the games here. Although, we are going to get wacky start times. It is in England, so it is 8 hours difference. I mean, the games are going to start for me at 12 a.m. So it's unlikely I'm going to watch anything live. If you're on the East Coast, maybe you're getting up really early. You can catch about halfway through the day. Games start at 3 a.m. over there, so who knows? NXL Europe, I like to see it happening. It's kind of one of the tournament series that I've always wanted to go to. I think that I would much rather go, to France or something than New Jersey. So that would be cool. Although I don't think I'm going to go to France anytime soon. Unfortunately. What's going on in chat room? My brother is playing Normandy Beach. Ion? Or is it just, there's just like another thing called Normandy Beach? The Latin Saints jerseys. I don't really remember the Latin Saints jerseys. I really liked the New York Xtreme jerseys at the last tournament. They just said Xtreme huge on the front. I really liked those. Yeah, that's about all I remember. What else do we have happening? I don't know a lot about this, but this has like been, on the, oh man. This has been making its rounds on the internet, kinda. A new paintball game, Virtua Paintball. I probably would not have named it Virtua because it makes it really hard to search for because everything just thinks it's Virtue. So Virtue stuff just comes up all the time. But we're going to get it on a lot of different platforms. You saw Steam on there. I think I saw the PSP, not PSP, the PS4 PlayStation logo on there. And it's a new paintball game coming. We'll see. I mean, there's been quite a few of these things, and they're all kind of cheesy. This one's made by Brett Messer. Brett Messer, current pro player, plays for Los Angeles Infamous. And apparently it's going to be free, so that's kind of cool. We'll see. I mean, I'm not a huge game person. I wasn't really a big Greg Hastings paintball player person back in the day. There's digital paintball. There's like Counter-Strike paintball or something like that. I don't even know. Do you remember the Unicorn New York Xtreme jerseys? Yep. I think that, why'd they have to wear that? Wasn't that like a bet or something like that? Someone like lost a bet. And they had to like wear those jerseys. Right? Something like that. I really don't remember. There's some like funny story behind it, that's for sure. Virtua Paintball. God, there's all kinds of like things I can talk about today. Oh, I didn't set that up though. Oh well. Let's do it. We have more news. Team USA was announced a couple days ago. Team USA is going to be playing in August, the end of August, in France at the NXL Europe, I think, Championships against a bunch of other international teams. And I think this is a good roster. They have Ryan Greenspan, Marcelo Margot, Blake Yarber, Harrison Fry. It's pretty much just Dynasty. Okay. Pat Kraft, which is cool. I like to see Pat Kraft on there. Pat Kraft's really good. We have Kyle Berry. Kyle Berry's also really good. Yosh Rao, yeah, he's old. Alex is old. Chris Shear, also really good, younger-ish player. And Tyler Harmon, which is kind of insane. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dynasty players. So Dynasty is taking 7 of the 10 spots. So Dynasty is literally 70% of the roster of Team USA, which is it's kind of funny. I also thought this was funny. If we go over to the Masters roster, you see the first guy still there, and Yosh and Alex are playing. So that's kind of weird that they're playing on the national team and the veterans team, which is odd. Then we have Corey Field, Los Angeles Fireman, Colt Roberts of San Antonio X Factor, Alex Martinez, the owner and, you know, kind of player of X Factor, not playing so much anymore. BJ Henningberg, he's awesome. He's really good. Mark Johnson. It's kind of crazy that BJ's that old. I didn't really think he was that old. Yosh, he's old. Alex is old. Frank Connell, he's also old. Alex Martinez, the oldest player. You know, I think I can play this next year. I don't think I'm going to make it, though. I always like these Team USA things. They got a bunch of cool merch, too. I really like this JT jersey. This is really cool. Only $50 too, which is crazy. That's a really good price. Lots of cool merch. So go buy like your Team USA. Oh, you can put like players' names on the back. That's cool. I like that. Team USA merch. Making it dark. Come on, where is Chad and Ronnie? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's so hard. I mean, whoops. Let's go back. Let's look at those rosters again. It's just so difficult, you know. It's like, so who do we have on the Doritos side? I mean, Doritos side could be, I mean, really any of these players can play the Doritos side, but I mean, we're probably going to have like first attack on the Doritos side would probably be Kyle Berry, Chris Shear. Man, I don't know. I mean, it's difficult. But Chad George and Ronnie Dizon. You know, honestly, Chad could have filled on this roster because they don't really have any like real crazy snake players. They don't have any like traditional, I'm going to the snake every time. Although a lot of these guys can play the snake like quickly off the break. You know, Harrison can do that. Kyle Berry could do that. I don't think I'm sending Alex anymore. Chris Shear can, but he's probably more dominant on the Dorito side. I think Pat Kraft could also go off the break. But they really don't have any like dedicated, you know, super snake players. So there's no question, like Chad definitely could have played. But it's hard, right? It's one of those things where, like, it'd be really cool to play for Team USA, and I would assume that Chad George has played in the past. But maybe he doesn't have time, you know? Maybe it's just too much of a commitment and he's working, or, you know, something else is going on that just makes it hard. Because it is far. I mean, you got to think they're going to France, so it's kind of a journey, especially for some of these guys coming from the West Coast, which is almost every single person. Except for, I think, Kyle Berry, Pat Kraft. It might be the only guys that aren't living on the West Coast. It's just freaking far, you know. It's a lot of flying and a, you know, big time commitment there. Sacramento DMG D3 tryouts at Capital Edge Sunday, July 23rd. You know, I've heard that Sacramento DMG is not going to play in the Capital Edge Paintball League anymore. My lip is sweaty. Who's on the women's team? You know, I don't know, honestly. Unfortunately, I looked at this and I don't even know how to pronounce people's names. What is Capital Edge? What is Sacramento DMG? What are they actually going to play? I was looking at these and I was like, oh yeah, I can talk about the women's league. And I was like, oh, we got Alicia. I don't know how to pronounce your name or your name. And I was like, oh man. Sorry, Destiny ladies. I do know Jen Folk. I recognize that name. Krista Titus, I don't recognize. Katie Kelly, I'm not sure. Alexis Laser, I'm not sure. I don't know anyone else. I know Nikki McGevers, but I've known her for like, you know, since time has started, it seems like. I'm not sure of the women's team. WNXL has gotten weird. I know that some of the teams are deciding not to play anymore. I think that the Sacramento Diamonds, they aren't playing anymore either. Dub C. Time commitment, not like the pros have a regular day job. Some of them don't. Those guys don't, but everyone else does. I imagine. I mean, Chad definitely does. I have no idea what he does, but he definitely works. There's only like, what, maybe like 20, 25 pro players that are pro, that all they do is play paintball. Houston Heat guys tech for DLX that live here in PA. Yeah, I don't know who works for Houston Heat. Does Ryan Moorhead still work for Lux? I mean, at one point in time, it seemed like Houston Heat is kind of like a reincarnation of the Philly All-Americans. The Philadelphia All-Americans were a Smart Parts sponsored DLX kind of same company sponsored team, and many of those guys worked for Smart Parts back in the day. I mean, I bet half the team worked for Smart Parts at one point. And it's always kind of been like that. Paintball, you know, pro players have kind of always worked. Somehow, Chad does work for DLX. So does Sam Monville. That's right. Sam definitely does. That's right. Sam Monville and Ryan Moorhead. That sounds right. Old school All-American guys, right? So at one point, yeah, a lot of those guys, I mean, I feel like all worked for Smart Parts. And it's something we've always seen, you know, pro players are always working for some company or working at a paintball store or doing something, mainly just because it provides enough time to go to these tournaments. You know, everyone wants weekends off to practice, and then you got to have off like a week all the time, just sporadically, to be able to, you know, play these freaking tournaments. So it is not always, I don't know, not always something. I don't know. What else we got here? This chat is slow. Not a lot of people are here. If you're one of those people who actually enjoys this live stream and enjoys me yammering about paintball, at least like the goddamn video. You know, it's real easy if you're on your phone. You can like just turn it this way, or if you're, you know, already looking at the chat, you can just pull it down and just like it and then just go back to normal. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to like, you don't have to give people money. You don't have to do anything. It's real simple. Schwartz already liked it. Congratulations. Not congratulations. Thank you. Well, congratulations. This came up the other day. Actually, watching, we were talking earlier about the Spick and Span kind of TV episode. This came on earlier. But this came, whoa, what is happening there? This came up on that. They were talking about Beyond the Paint. And there's so many of these, like, there's so many of these weird, like, old paintball videos. I really don't remember them all. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, this TV show that happened in 2007. And, like, I don't remember any of it. That's great. I just like the intro. Is that Alex? Who is that? Is that Alex Lindquist and Travis Lemansky and Josh Davies? Biting his lip. He's ready to go. He's all worked up. Beyond the Paint. We're gonna fast forward.
The sport's most exciting and experienced pros to reveal their personality, as well as the culture of what paintball is today.
There's nothing like shooting at your friends, you know.
Crazy time.
From the likes of veterans Rich Telford and
Rich Telford.
Everybody has
WC.
I like shooting people.
San Diego surfer
appreciate it.
Swedish model Alex Lundqvist, and the eccentric artist and magician Alex.
I don't remember when I've watched this. Like, I watched all this stuff. I mean, I probably watched it when it was on TV.
Paintball has become one of the most addictive young sports today.
The next generation is going to define what this paintball sport looks like.
Both on the field and beyond the paint.
People know
Beyond the
people
paint.
know about paintball. They know it's a
It's Owen. Owen.
sport.
And most people don't know Owen.
Paint.
People know now. People know about paintball. They know it's a cool sport.
Owen was my boss at one point in time, technically. That's so funny. What is this?
Except that I'm 24. I grew up as an artist. You know, my mom put me in art classes when I was a kid, and I really found that as a good way to
Photoshop.
Dorito one.
Here's some
You know,
gameplay.
100% focus on that. And
No, Alex will
make it
shut
happen.
up. Look at Todd. Todd Martinez. Todd's so cool. You can see his karate belt, maybe right there. He always wore a white belt. I don't know.
Dynasty 5 guns off the break. Alex Revy goes to Dorito 1. There you see
Is
Alex
X Factor?
in the
No, it's
Dorito
the
1
Hurricanes.
fight. Oh, Justin Schwartz dives right in front of Alex.
LJ.
Now the front player on top of the screen.
Okay. Listen to this very carefully. I don't know if you guys can hear in the background of this video, but listen very carefully. They've added fake cheering. So they've added fake noise in. Like, they've added fake crowd noise.
Alex is going to play a little cat and mouse here at the beginning of the game.
You hear that like roar of the
New England
crowd?
Hurricanes now coming from left to right.
That's totally fake.
Hurricanes lose their first player as Todd Martinez slides into the bottom snake. Dynasty's so aggressive, even if they're down on bodies. Right now they don't know
Like, listen how loud it is. It's so loud. Like, my God.
they're even and still coming at him. Hurricane
Remember that tombstone bunker? That thing was terrible. I hated that bunker. I liked the car wash.
making a secondary
Those little pyramid triangle things, those were
move to the
weird
bottom
too.
snake. Now in Justin Schwartz and Hurricanes
So,
players.
people who are brand new to paintball, yeah, I was going to explain what's happening here a little bit.
Nice bunker
So
move.
this
Justin
is
Schwartz.
the
1-for-1, that means the Hurricanes
MPPL, the National Professional Paintball League. And at one point in time, we kind of had two professional leagues. We had the MPPL and the PSP. The PSP eventually ended up becoming the NXL, and the NXL is, or the PSP and the NXL were both 5-man, kind of race to X-ball format. This is just plain old 7-man, so you kind of shoot all 7 players, and you gotta go like grab the flag, and you run the flag back to the side. Game's over. It's pretty much the same thing. This right here, I'm 99% sure they're all shooting semi-auto uncapped. So this was just as fast as you can shoot, and as fast as you could shoot the gun is whatever rate of fire you could have. But it had to be legal, right? You couldn't have it like uncapped full auto or crazy firing modes. It still had to be 1 shot per trigger pull. Although, that's all nonsense, because most of these guys like had guns and cheating boards and all kinds of stuff that made their guns totally illegal. And they kind of let it, honestly, in the Pro Division, they kind of let them get away with it.
Plays just like in football, basketball. There's an in-game
I
play.
wanna, like,
Here goes Brian down the middle.
This is more Dynasty stuff. You know, because there's definitely old videos out there of like Dynasty where they were everyone's supposed to have cap or like, you know, just regular semi-auto. And honestly, most people probably can't shoot over 13 to 14 balls a second. But they're out there shooting like 20. It's just like, brr, brr, brr. It's like, okay, there's no way that's really semi. I don't know if you guys can hear that. If you can't hear that, I don't know what's going on. A legal uncapped would be the best, but we know they didn't do it. That is true. And I really wish, I was thinking about like the other day during that Spick and Span show, when there was a lot of, you know, talk about like, you know, what, you know, maybe format changes could be implemented in the Pro League or something like that. And Micah McLaughlin playing the snake, and he's gonna get shot. He's like, how the hell did I get into the snake? That's Rich Telford right there, your current NXL announcer. Yeah, one thing I really do kind of think that we should go back to semi-auto. I think that maybe in the professional division or in all the divisions, we maybe should go back to semi. I mean, one of the reasons that we went to this like ramping or full auto kind of shooting style or rate of or firing mode is because there were so many illegal guns. It just got hard to control. There were a lot of people with, you know, hidden software on guns. I had one of those guns. They could go full auto whenever you wanted it to, or they did crazy things with shooting. So one of the reasons that we all went to, you know, ramping or full auto or whatever was to try to eliminate a lot of the illegal guns and the cheating guns. But I don't know. I feel that like nowadays are different. I think that one of the hard things with the older guns is that it was hard to kind of prove if someone was doing it on purpose. And a lot of these guns just weren't made as well, so it was a little bit harder to control. And I think that with the modern guns now, and just manufacturing and everything so much better, I do think that you can kind of control the equipment quite a bit better, as far as, you know, requiring it to only shoot one paintball. Back in the day, guns would bounce, and there were all kinds of weird issues. I think that they could reinstitute the robot. At one point, they had an actual machine that you put the paintball gun into, and it would electronically like pull the trigger, and it would count, you know, 4 shots, and see how many paintballs came out to see if the thing was actually cheating. I think we could reinstitute that. Because I think, you know, high rates of fire are interesting, right? It's definitely a skill, and I also think it's something that could help move paintball forward. I think one of the reasons that we saw a lot of like advancements in, you know, equipment in the early 2000s, you know, say 2000 to 2010, is because we saw so many people wanting to get the highest rate of fire possible, and, you know, people were messing with the internals of the guns to try to achieve that, you know, better, higher rate of fire. Maybe the gun could be snappier, it could, you know, whatever. And I think that, you know, a lot of the manufacturers don't focus on that anymore, and I think it could be a way to see change or improvement in, you know, equipment, or just more variation of the equipment, because it's not, I don't know, there's not as much variation in stuff now, whereas, you know, back in the day you had to tweak stuff and tune it to get it to shoot like you wanted, and now I just take stuff out of the box and use it. So I think that, you know, going to not a capped rate of fire, but just real semi-automatic. You know, look at Rich run. That was like 20 years ago, and he still looks terrible there. Rich is the man, though. Rich actually in this?
It's a lot of fun, but after playing a few times or 4 or 5 hours,
yeah.
it's about as much fun as I can have doing that.
So I don't know. I'd kind of like to see us go back to semi-auto, or at least try it. I mean, I think that, you know, not trying stuff's a bad idea, and I even think that we should do it, you know, trying new formats or trying new rules in the pro division. I think it's a good idea, and I don't even think that we have to do it for the whole season, right? I think that just make up new rules every tournament, and like, oh, this one didn't work, let's try this again, and let's try this again, you know, I don't know. Just keep trying stuff.
Eliminate excessive players, put excessive counterpunch back, and luckily
Zorro stunts. I want to bring back no pod battles. I don't think that's gonna happen. Look at Rich Gazelle speed. So there's a lot of this old stuff if you guys want to like watch old paintball content or get caught up, not caught up maybe, but like learn old stuff if you know you're newer to paintball and want to see like what happened 40 years ago, you can do that. We're gonna go with Breezy H. I appreciate those super chats. God damn it! I mean, $9.99 super chats, wonderful. Thank you so much. It's you know how I facilitate doing these live streams, and when I make any money, it's good. There is buzz that DLX will be coming out with the new Lux. I know, I've kind of thought that for a while. I mean, they lowered the price on both of their guns. They lowered the price by $200 on the $200 on the Shocker, right? Or is it $300? I don't know. They lowered the prices by $200, definitely on the Lux. And that's kind of what I thought. I think that most of the time when we see that, it's companies trying to clear out stock, or maybe DLX don't have a lot of stock, but some of their dealers maybe do. So they're trying to allow their dealers to kind of clear out stock to make more room for like the new Lux, the Lux Bravo or something like that. So I've kind of thought that too. I mean, we might see a new Lux or a new Shocker fairly soon. I want to continue playing this. I love those super chats so much, guys. It's very, very helpful. And, I don't know. Lets me know people care. 610 Moto. I'm waiting for a new Field 1 marker, hoping for an Insight full-time comeback. I don't get your last one, though. You said, hoping for an Insight full-time comeback or a... I got it. I should have read it the whole way. Hoping for an Insight. You know, the Insight was a very weird gun. You know, I always get like the Bob Long guns confused because there's just too many of them too. I can picture the Insight in my head, but I don't know what makes the Insight different from a Victory or from any of the other guns. They're just far too similar, and it was always really confusing. But I would love to see a G7R. I think we will. I think we will. I'm actually confident that we will see a G7R. I don't know when that will be exactly, but I'm pretty confident we'll see one. Just because it's so popular, you know. I mean, everyone's been talking about it. Everyone wants one. I think the LV2 has done pretty good for Planet Eclipse. So hopefully Field 1 see that, and they're like, yeah, let's do that. Insight comeback, like bringing back mass production again. I don't know. I ask Yosh about a new MVP every year. He always responds, and he always responds, bless his heart. Well, they were supposed to release one, so, I mean, there was supposed to be one like years ago. It was going to be one of the guns they released with the Force, but it just never happened. Zorro stunts again. Think it's okay to run Reball and plastics practice rounds in a Z2. Yeah, you should be all right. I mean, I don't know exactly which the plastic round. You can, I mean, yeah, you can put anything in there. You're not going to break anything. It doesn't matter what gun you use. You're not going to break anything, at least. Worst case scenario is it just jams and you got to, like, you know, wiggle your hand around in there and unjam it. You're certainly not going to break anything. The 610 Moto. I talked to Yosh on the phone. That dude knows those forces like the back of his hand. He is very helpful if you ever call tech support. Yeah, it's kind of cool how him and Alex actually answer the phone at that company. Yeah. It's also kind of weird that a pro paintball player is a tech to me. So many of those guys just they just don't care at all about their equipment. They kind of just like try to play paintball. Yeah. Someone said something that I was like gonna like, I don't know. Here's Brandon. Brad, did you hear about those 3v3 tournaments in 2005 when they were happening? Wonder what kind of response they had at the time. You mean like the Smart Parts World Championship? Smart Parts World Championship? Although this one says 2016. I don't know if that's right or not. You mean this thing? Is this what we're talking about? Or was this 5-on-5? This was kind of a crazy event. This was put on Let's go. We'll open that. This was, I think, put on specifically by Smart Parts at the Mohegan Sun Resort. I think it's in Atlantic City. This is 3-on-3, right? No, it's 5-on-5. Never mind. I don't know. Smart Parts is 5-on-5. The 3v3s, I don't really know though. This was another one. This is another probably cool thing to watch. One of the things that I think is cool about some of the older days in paintball as well is I don't even really know why. But in these older games, the game was just so much faster. I feel that like people were moving more and people were trying to shoot people more. It maybe wasn't as much of like about zone control and about just controlling areas on the field. Now everyone just kind of goes to spots and like controls zones on the field. And back in the day, I just feel like people were moving more and more people were getting shot, more points were being played in matches. And I don't really know why. I think that my main thought is that people were just way better now. And guns just shoot straighter. So it's like people know what to do. And the equipment just works so much better. Nate Hanneman, another $9.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Nate. Oh dang, almost missed the stream. I didn't do one last weekend. Have you checked out the new Paintball? The new Paintball Infinite Tournament Paintball? What? I don't know. Let's just put it into Google and see what happens. I think I've seen this. Well, no, let's just talk about this too. I might have just blew everybody's ears out though, sorry. I mean, we were kind of talking... That is so loud. We were kind of talking about... we were talking about something else earlier. The one thing I always find weird about like these games is that like I feel like you can see so much better. Like if paintball was really like this, it'd be so cool. Like look at how easy you can see the paint in the air and stuff. I can't see paint in the air that well. It's not something I experience. That looks cool. I've not played it, although you know, it's not saying much. The last video game I was into was like World of Warcraft, like 2007. So it's not saying all much. Looks like he's using a TM40 and an R2. Yeah, we were talking about the Virtua game earlier. This is on Steam. How much is it? 15 bucks? There's another new paintball game too that's not out yet. Yeah. I don't know. There it is. Have you played it, Nate? Has anyone played it? Do any of you guys play these paintball games? Has anyone looked into them or like, you know, tried them or think they're fun or anything like that? I really don't know. You know, I'm like the worst person to talk about that. New game on Steam. I've been trying it out. Brandon, is it any good? Archdog! Doot doot! I don't know why I did that. I appreciate that $5 super chat, dude. Whiles, you're downloading right now. Field of Battle 2 on iPhone is lit. Are you supposed to capitalize lit? Is lit an abbreviation for something? I don't think so. I mean, I'm old and I'm not hip and with it, so I don't know. I would have said groovy, you know, not lit. Let's, can I open the App Store on here? Look at this, the Apple App Store. Field of Battle. Maybe it's only... Maybe Field of Battle. Fields of Battle? Maybe... No. Oh, I'm looking up Mac. That's why. Fields of Battle. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know how to use my... I don't know how to use this. Well, this looks kind of cool, actually. This looks cooler, I think, maybe than, like... This might be a little cooler than, Fields of Battle. So they got, like, you can, like, make your own field and stuff? Do you get to play, or you just make... Whoa, what's the... Jesus. I bet everybody picks that. Everybody probably picks the Rap 468. Huh. I like this. This looks not bad. Although I hate mobile games. I really dislike them. I don't like how I have no, like, interface. You know, I don't have actual, like, tactile buttons and stuff. I just hate how it doesn't have them. We got that guy. Huh. More paintball games. I mean, ask me. I don't even know any of this stuff exists. There's just a random X. Could destroy that guy. See, he's got like this crazy, like, the Rap 468 shooting full auto. God, newsflash for you guys, though. If you actually had a Rap 4, it wouldn't be able to shoot full auto, because they're so bad. Those guns are so terrible. It's just going to break the first time you try using it. All stainless die barrel on piece. Yeah, I don't understand how people, like, play on mobile. Like, because you're, like, covering the screen up and, like, you just have to, like, guess if you're hitting the button right. It's like, I don't know. I really don't like it. I'm not that big of a fan. There are a lot of paintball video games. YouTube Infinite Paint. We just looked at that, right? Didn't we just watch that? Yeah, we just talked about that for like a couple minutes. Infinite Paintball. Infinite Paintball. Yeah, we just talked about that. Got lumps for you, Paintball. Hit that like button. That's what I'm talking about. You know what's up. Why are you guys talking about barrels? What's happening with barrels? Everyone's talking about barrels. OG two-piece Smart Parts All-American barrels were also very good. But good luck finding one to fit today's paint. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that's for sure. It was like, one thing that's interesting, the Old Soul, the stainless steel dies were awesome, but super heavy. I would be interested in seeing how they pair with lightweight markers today. I don't know what happened. I used to have two. I don't know. I used to have two of the stainless steels. I had a 14-inch and a 12-inch Cocker die stainless steel barrels. What's weird about those barrels, though, they didn't make them in bore sizes. They kind of just made them. So yeah, sometimes they'd end up being a little smaller in size. Sometimes they're a little bigger in size. So a lot of like pro players had like collections of those things with like the bore sizes like stamped on them so they know which was which. It's pretty crazy. I'd really like to try some of those heavier barrels on the new guns, because I mean, one of the things that's like, I don't know, we always talk about like how guns, you know, which gun kicks the least and all this stuff, and like if you put one of those really heavy barrels on the front of that gun, it wouldn't kick at all. I mean, the gun's going to be heavier, sure, but it's going to shoot so well because there's just so much mass in the front. The thing just doesn't really want to kick. It just requires so much more energy to make it kick when you have like a 5-pound barrel on the front of the thing. So I want to do that too. Michael, thoughts on parabolic barrels? I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about them. I'm kind of indifferent about all barrels, though. I mean, I really don't think that one barrel is that much better to another barrel. They're all just tubes of aluminum, really. I mean, think about it. It's literally just a tube of aluminum, or a tube of stainless steel, or a titanium tube. You know, they're all just tubes of material. So it's not like one's considerably better than the other. I think that if the barrel's made well, it's probably going to shoot well. I mean, obviously at some point porting can have something to do with it, because if you don't have any porting, it can shoot a little weird. But, you know, all the barrels have the correct amount of porting on them. So, you know, I think that most of these barrels are going to shoot just as well, whether it's that parabolic barrel. Someone said CP one pieces. I really like the CP one piece. Whether it's, you know, a Freak XL, maybe you have that laser barrel from HK Army. You got a power insert barrel from one of the 8 companies that are making them. I kind of think they all shoot the same. So, the Flatline and the Apex barrels, they still are selling those things. I mean, it depends kind of where you play. You know, I'm not seeing them all that often. Just because where I play, but I think if I played in the woods more, or if I played on larger, kind of maybe bigger rec style fields, more people will probably be using those. So I think it kind of just matters where you're at. I remember the Autococker Flatline. Heck yeah. Nate, what'd you say? You said something. Would there be a difference in the entire 14 or 16-inch barrel was a single bore size? So like, what's the difference between the 2-piece and the single-piece barrels? Well, really, let's say you really only need like the barrel to be like 8 to 10 inches long. And then after that 8 to 10 inches, it doesn't really do much. I mean, so really you only need it to be the length of the barrel back. So you really only need, you know, that's a little short. You really only need it to be like that long, you know, and then adding that barrel tip on there kind of does maybe 3 things. It's making the gun quieter. It's certainly quieter. Adding that like porting down the barrel kind of helps dissipate that air coming out, so you don't have as like a lot of a pop when it leaves the barrel. Longer barrels are easier to aim with, and then I mean, some people say that the back is a smaller diameter than the front. So as soon as that ball passes that barrel back, having that barrel tip be a little bit larger helps like the air kind of like escape around the ball, so it doesn't like have as loud as a poppy noise. And having that air escape the ball kind of causes less turbulence at the end of the barrel, so it might shoot a little bit straighter. I don't know though. Last weekend, or I played with, let's say the 180R. I played with the 180R without the barrel tip and just used like the barrel back. That was kind of fun. Michael, adds drag on the ball after that 8 to 10 inches, maybe you mean? Yeah, I mean, there's really, yeah. But then at the same time, you know, people are going to say that like 2-piece barrels can be more accurate. But I don't know, right? Like, I've used plenty of 1-piece barrels from CP. I really like that. That's an old Bob Long single-piece barrel. I really like these things. And I think, you know, for the most part, you know, barrels are barrels. So I've never been, you know, on the barrel hype train. They're literally just tubes of aluminum. Old Soul. What's this? Shot theory. Just an idea. But what if they made a slight incline of 15 to 20 degrees? I mean, that's a hell of an incline. That's like, that's a hell of an incline. Allowing a little more air underneath the ball to create some backspin, but not super noticeable. The Z-Mag? The Z-Mag did that? I thought the Z-Mag was just like... The Z-Mag was just a trigger frame. Well, there's two things, right? I mean, you could make... You're talking kind of about two different things. I mean, if you incline the barrel, it's just gonna go higher, you know? It's not probably gonna like... but then you gotta like aim down at stuff if you want to shoot straight. So that's always weird. It's possible though, there are paintball guns. There was the old Alien. We've talked about the Alien a lot recently. The Alien... I don't remember what they called it though. What did they call the original Alien? I don't know. But there's this thing. This thing actually did that. So this actually applied more air at the bottom of the paintball to give it a little backspin. The Z body? Oh, I'm thinking of the Yuli bodies too. Man, I just don't remember. There was this thing, the Alien, that actually applied more air at the bottom of the paintball to give the paintball backspin. And that shoots further because you're putting backspin on it. But I think anytime you're putting spin on a paintball, it gets wacky, right? It just gets weird because you're not supposed to be spinning the thing. And I mean, paintballs always are going to be more accurate when they're not spinning. Because it's not applying it perfectly every time. And it could catch wind and start spinning the other way maybe or whatever. So ideally, we have the paintball just go and come in straight out. Old Soul, something about flatline. The flatline kind of worked the same way too. It didn't actually apply more pressure at the ball, but that flatline barrel kind of arced up so that because of its going up, the ball kind of had to sit. It just ended up, because of gravity, sitting further in the bottom of the barrel, and then it would catch the barrel and it would actually drag along the bottom, and then it'd make it spin backwards. But that ended up coming out flat too though. It didn't actually like point straight in the air just to shoot further. I've always thought that like the shockers and luxes, when you look at like a shocker or a lux straight on, when you just look at it, it always looks like the barrel's pointing up. Like it looks like the barrel's like 2 degrees or like a degree and a half or something like that, pointing at the air. I always thought that was weird. It just, I don't know if it's an illusion. I don't know. I don't really remember. Very weird. Jacob, sure it does go farther, but it's going the same speed. So it's going pretty slow when it's that far out. No, yep, absolutely. Because you're not really like shooting the ball faster for sure. So it's coming out of the barrel at the same speed. So it's going to lose velocity at the same speed too. So for sure, you shoot someone far away with like, one of those flatline barrels that shoots further, or the apex barrel that can shoot further. It's just like, kind of hitting people and like falling off. You'd have to hit someone like right in the mask or right in the hopper or something, because it's certainly going a little bit slower. Or it's going as slow as a normal paintball. So yeah, you shoot further, but it's hard to break it on stuff. I would want the spin up, which supposedly negates gravity. Like anti-gravity? Yeah, I haven't shot a flatline in forever, though. I haven't shot a flatline. I mean, it's been so long. It's been forever. I used the Apex maybe like... I used an Apex barrel maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Oh, man. Maybe like 7 years ago? I don't know. It was quite a while ago. The Apex barrel's interesting. The flatline modded Evo still makes me sad to this day. Like an Evo cocker? Really? That's a funny combo. That would be weird. Yeah, I mean, they're interesting. I mean, the flatline definitely shoots further. It's nothing like First Strike, though. First Strike's goddamn insane. I mean, I wish that I had somewhere more around me that could actually, you know, use First Strike. The flatline spin was supposed to make it flat. Believe me, a lot of marketing went into these. They do shoot further, and it actually might shoot flat, too. I don't know. It might shoot flatter. It might honestly have a flatter trajectory. But it's actually not flatter, is it? I mean, that's just stupid. That's just, again, a physics problem. Because it's not actually flatter. It just shoots further, so it seems flatter. Right? It's just, instead of, like, falling off like that, it's going like that. So it's still, like, it still falls, but it's just, like, because it's going a little farther because of that backspin, it just seems like it's flatter. First Strikes did what First Strikes did that Armisen tried to do with their rifled barrels. Yeah, rifled barrels are stupid. They're ridiculous. I was never a fan of the rifled barrel. Never a fan. This is kind of cool too. This happened like a couple weeks ago, but this is a sponsor of this channel, bfpgear.com, made this cool like mic'd up video with Dynasty. I want to hear the audio to make sure we don't get removed from the internet. I always like these. I think these are fun.
You can chill in here and just sit off the bat.
I don't know who filmed this. I'm not sure.
As soon as one of our two spots vacate, I think you fill the other one. Cool. Right, so we can, and then we can just
It's cool to see Oliver though, right there. It's funny. I mean, it's really hard to say, but like, you know, nowadays it's like, I mean, it's really fun to watch. I don't know what I was gonna say. I really like how, I don't know. I was gonna say, it's cool how, like, you know, the younger guys on Dynasty are so important to the team. Like with Chris Shear and Harrison Fry. That just looks good right there. That looks really good. I don't know if it's like a 300 prime. I don't know. Looks good. I like these mic'd up ones. They're fun. What are you guys talking about? Rifling has zero advantage. Yeah, it's true. Kinda. I mean, for round balls, it's true. So this is the Philly layout prior to the event. The only practice they had on this here in Sacramento, California. I was there that day. I didn't watch practice at all. I was over actually playing paintball.
Alpha Dragon! Ryan! Ryan, what's the widest? Ryan! Hey, Yosh, you want to get in there with him? Ryan! Yosh, get in there with him. Back right!
I mean, you're kind of lucky you didn't get shot right there, because Ryan's putting that guy in. See, he's telling him to go. He's like, you know, Yosh, go over there.
Ryan! Yosh, get in there with him.
But then as soon as he stopped shooting, that guy could have come back on that lane and shot him. Yep, anyway. BFP Gear has been doing nice stuff as a Dynasty sponsor. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I know that, you know, last year they had ANS Gear, and yeah. Not anymore. Jacob says, round balls don't need shoot well out of rifled barrels. Rifling has, like, advantages with round projectiles. Has little advantage, maybe none. I mean, you know, that's what's weird. It's like, you know, I've talked about rifled barrels, and I've made rifled barrel videos, and I've talked about it before, and I've actually, like, you know, red real gun stuff and like all kinds of things. It's very weird though that during the Civil War, they used rifled barrels during the Civil War on musket balls. So even those round, you know, round muskets, you know, some of them had rifling. But that's also kind of when they introduced the actual bullet shape we're kind of like, you know, familiar with now. But even then they were using rifled barrels on round bullets. Just those round musket whatever balls. They weren't muskets then, but yeah, and I mean, on the internet and like physicists and everybody pretty much says there's no point in spinning around a round object like that. It's not going to be more stable. It's not going to do anything better. But they were using them in the old war. Is the mini ball? The mini ball is just like the round one, right? I don't know. Shooting him with some freaking gel blaster.
Always wear protective glasses. Professionals on a closed course.
That's what I always say. It's just a gel blaster.
Hey, you guys are safe now.
I want to get a gel blaster sponsor. A gel blaster sponsor.
Someone draw a chocolate outline around me.
Funny. Boop boop. Chat room. Okay. Be a good test to see if there's any advantage to having a large diameter of holes at the beginning of the tip and smaller diameter towards the tip. Wait a minute. At the beginning of the tip and smaller diameter. I get what you're saying. So like back to front. I don't know. I mean, that's one of the things that like I have thought about like dye. I have thought about like trying to kind of like test some things. I just want to open an image to illustrate something. I have wanted to do testing on like what's, you know, barrels, whether they're like, you know, loud and maybe how the pitch and how like the higher pitch tone can actually make things louder. We think about anything in real life that needs to be loud. A lot of the time it's always a higher pitch, right? We think about like sirens, if you think about like a tsunami warning or your tornado warnings, anything like that, right? It's like a higher pitch. You know, that beep, it's a high pitch, right? And it's a higher pitch because like we just perceive it better, even though it's not louder, right? So you could have something at like, I'm going to use frequencies. You could have something at like 2,500 kilohertz or 2,500 right hertz or like 10,000, and they could be the exact same decibel level, but that thing at that higher frequency is just going to seem like it's louder. It's just like how our hearing works, right? We don't really hear low frequencies that well. So I think that has a lot to do with just what gun seems quieter, right? Because they're not always quieter. They could be like a higher pitch and it just like seems like it's louder. And that's kind of what Dye has tried to do with their ULS barrel. You can see that they say the whole reason that they put this port right here. There's 3 of them. There's one on this side, one here, and there's one completely on the other side of there, I'm pretty sure. Maybe there's just 2. But they put that on there to try to like reduce the pitch a little bit, to try to get that pitch a little bit lower, so that just makes the gun seem quieter. And it would be kind of something interesting to do to see like which barrel is actually quieter. Mark! Not adios. Hola. So I don't know. It would be kind of interesting because recently the 180R versus CS3 video, we did kind of a sound test in that, and certainly the 180R is just louder. I mean, you can see it on the waveform. It's just obvious. And in real life, you can hear it. It's blatantly obvious. But it just made me think about, like, you know, whatever. Seems / perception is good enough for me. I don't know what you mean. There's perceived loudness. That's kind of what I mean by, like, different pitches and stuff. It's like perceived loudness. What's the difference? But the difference of using a round ball out of a muzzle loader is there is a patch that goes around the ball creating a tight seal. That is true too. I mean, that's just guns in general though. I mean, paintballs don't squeeze down the barrel like that. I think that bullets have kind of always squeezed down the barrel, right? Maybe not like, maybe they didn't squeeze down there like when they were using like just a round ball, but certainly like all the like new bullet shaped things, they gotta squeeze down there. Like, got all kinds of paintball stuff going on this weekend. Remember guys, you can watch NXL Europe. You can watch NXL Europe over on the Major League Paintball YouTube channel this weekend. The MLPB is what they're really calling themselves, not the like MLP. Major League Paintball, go watch NXL Europe. What else we got? Yeah, that's happening this weekend, that's all. NXL Europe. Bullets ride the rifling down the barrel. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean by like they squeeze down the barrel. Because they have to be a little bit smaller to like catch the, or the bullet has to be a slightly larger to like catch those grooves, you know? Because if it was like, you know, the same size like paintball is, it wouldn't do anything. You know, it'd be like skipping over the rifling. There's even paintball gun companies that have made straight rifled barrels. Remember that smart part, the smart part's like ACP tip. Or the Lux, not Lux, the whatever. You're in the garage drinking beer. Well, that sounds good, Jacob. I'm not in the garage or drinking beer. Yeah, we're talking about paintball and liquid being inside. You know, I think that's one of the reasons that, damn, non-bread pizza. Where could I get that at? Old Soul's making me hungry. Man, you distracted me. What the hell was I talking about? I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. Something not that important. Halal pizza? I got halal pizza kind of close. They probably have that. They got pretty good ratings. Dude, I really don't know what I was talking about. Liquid inside paintballs. That's one of the reasons I think that the higher end paint shoots better. That higher end paint has a little bit of a thicker fill. It's a little bit of a heavier fill. So it kind of like shoots better because that paintball's heavier. The lightweight stuff is a little wacky. And certainly if there's not enough paint in the ball, it'll be weighted weird, you know, because there'll just be some sort of air pocket in there. Who knows? Cleaning your G6R. I want a G6R so bad. Thinking, I'm glad I never bought that Vanguard Demon or Alien Deception. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a good idea to keep your G6R. Man, those things are selling for like $600 to $700 still. I mean, like 10 years later, they're still highly desirable. I really want one. I couldn't bring myself to buy one though, but I don't know, maybe if it was the right one. If I came across like a Ripper G6R, that would be cool. Jacob says, heavier paint will have a range advantage, technically also, given the same feet per second. I don't even know if you have to put technically, you know, when we put technically, normally it's like, yeah, it shoots farther. It shoots like this much further. But you know, heavier paint, it really does shoot further and better. I mean, you can just like see it. You know, you can. And we say heavier, it's minute though. I mean, it's like, you know, 1/4 of a gram or like, you know, an 1/8 of a gram or something like that. It's not a lot, but it's certainly, you can see it. Yep. I think that's why like the some of the Valken paint shoots really well. Like the New World, you get Graffiti, you have that old Redemption. I don't even think they're making Redemption anymore. They're definitely not. Yeah, that stuff just seems a little bit heavier than everything else. I feel like it shoots a little bit better because it's like weighed down so much. I don't know though. Heavy paintballs. You know what else is really helpful that we didn't talk about at all? Is this stuff. You know, people were doing some super chats earlier. I love super chats. Super chats are one of the ways that I, you know, make money doing some of these live streams. You know, like break even. I don't break even though when people maybe buy some headbands. You can buy headbands, barrel covers. There's some t-shirts, hats over in the Paintball Ruined My Life merch store. You can get headbands in there for only $30. They're going to ship for free if you're in the United States. There's a $75 3-pack, which is a pretty good deal. There's a bunch of bright colors you can see right there, but there's also a lot of like subdued colors as well. You know, I don't really like to wear a lot of bright colors. I kind of like a solid color. I actually like this red, white, and blue one a lot. But I, you know, prefer some simpler things. Like I really like this, like a checker rose-ish one. Really like the Olmec one. The Olmec's one of the more popular ones. So I like these kind of like simpler ones. And there's a lot of those in there as well. There's some, you know, solid black. Like here's a solid black one right here. You get that one in there. There's some non-crazy colors. Like there's a black. There's some that's the grime one. The grime one's pretty cool too. paintballruinedmylife.com/shop, or you can just go to pbrml.com. There's some barrel covers. There's a load of barrel covers. I mean, there's like so many goddamn barrel covers in there, like I'm starting to lose track of actually how many are even in there. So if anyone ever wanted to like support this channel and you like, you know, like these videos or something, do at least contemplate purchasing a headband or a barrel cover. Thank you. What's going on? What's the ballistic coefficient of a paintball? I got no idea. If we were going to talk about bullets, might as well get nerdy about it. I don't even know what that is. Like the drag coefficient, I'm assuming. I'm gonna put that into Google. Ballistic coefficient. Yeah. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's a ton. I could tell you that much. I'm sure someone out there could tell you. I just typed it into Google Images really fast to see if we could find a graph. Oh, here's one. Dang, look at all this. There's actually like legit, like, what do they call that photography? I don't remember what they call that style of photography. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, here's some stuff. I can't use these charts are probably not going to be that readable to legible though. There you go. The information's out there. Wow, I don't think I've seen like man, I wish I had a high-speed camera. I've looked into renting some high-speed cameras. There's actually a few of them that you can buy some high-speed cameras, but you know, they're still $6,000, so I'm probably not going to buy one. I just think it'd be really cool to get some like high-speed like paintball stuff or whatever. Jacob says 0.8 BC, whatever that is, on a 68 caliber round ball. That's pretty close. Jeez, what Mark? Mark, you gonna play this weekend? You gonna be there on Saturday or Sunday? He's a pig man. Yeah, I was wondering, like, it should be fairly easy to figure out the coefficient, like, the drag on a paintball, because it's a perfect sphere, right? So someone can do the math. I can't do the math. But you don't really have to, like, measure a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a perfect sphere, so. Ballistic coefficient. Yeah, I don't know what any of that stuff is. It's been, you know, I was in some high-level math classes at one point in my life. But that was a long time ago, and I tried to help someone with calculus the other day. I didn't remember any of it. Yeah, I went through calculus 3, and I don't remember literally none of it. None of it. You know, math is one of those things that, like, you just memorize a bunch of shit. It's like you don't even really understand the content that much. It's just a bunch of nonsense memorization. It's the dumbest thing ever. This is firearm stuff you won't learn that in school. Well, maybe I could go to like... Yeah, you do though. It's just physics. I mean, it's not like special gun math. Like, you know, it's just physics. You know, it's not super complicated. They're probably not going to use the word ballistic coefficient. You could use the word coefficient, drag coefficient, right? It's probably the same thing. Calculus made me change majors. Yeah, I don't remember. You know, at one point I wanted to be a physics. I was doing physics. And I've gone to so much goddamn school, it's fucking ridiculous. Shot theory. That's a good name for this topic. Considering they're all 68 caliber, it's not really something shooters talk about. Generally, we look at different calibers, powder, weight type, bullet shape for comparison. Yeah, because paintballs are literally all the same. You know, it's like they're all the same exact thing. They come out of the barrel the same velocity, and I don't know. Mark, are you going to Thailand? When are you going to Thailand? Depending on where you go, Germany's strict. I don't think Mark's going to Germany. I think Mark's going to Thailand. You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I know that, you know, some places are probably going to be different. Although people play paintball in Thailand, all the countries are going to be different. I mean, I would definitely disassemble your regulator. End of 2024, so like a year and a half-ish. Dude, I want to go somewhere. Dude, I got gas. That protein powder. Yeah, I know, just take your reg off. That's for sure. I would take your reg off, and I would probably I might even disassemble the paintball gun. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Because Thailand's kind of weird. No? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. It's hard when there's other countries involved. Everyone's got different rules. It's like the Planet Eclipse CS3 recently. The review for that, you know, every time I do a review on this channel, we also do the raffle over in the Facebook group. And a gentleman that won the CS3, where did he live? Norway or somewhere crazy. And I was like, Brandon, that's a good point. Good point. You can ship it. That's really not a bad idea. I mean, we used to ship stuff to tournaments. I used to ship stuff to paintball tournaments. We'd always be waiting for our jerseys at the goddamn hotel room the day before the tournament. Yeah, I don't know. I completely lost my train of thought too. Shot theory. Germany is the most strict. Yeah, Germany definitely requires, I don't know if it's the RF stamp. I've heard the F stamp before. I think all the Planet Eclipse guns and all the like smart parts, shockers, luxes, those things are pretty much, I think they still all come with an F stamp no matter what country you're in. Australia is probably the worst though. I mean, Australia's got crazy laws. You have to like lock it up in a gun safe and stuff. You got to apply for a gun permit to like get a paintball gun. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Germany requiring the stamp. And you can also get gun stamped. You just have to like, somehow there's some sort of process where like, say, you know, say I've got this. I've got my Tippmann A5. This definitely doesn't have no F stamp. It's got an R stamped on it though. See that R right there? Although that's for refurbished. Yeah, I know you can get it done. You have to like apply or something like that, and then they stamp it on there, and you gotta like carry around a permit or some craziness. Yeah, I mean, shipping is probably a good idea. My main... that's true. I mean, there's a lot of paintball players in Asia, so there's probably some people you could contact. Schwartz says, ask Harrison Fry. He goes all over, for sure. And paintball's actually kind of big there. Damn, I want to go play paintball in Asia. That'd be cool. We should play a tournament. Mark, December... You're going December through January. Probably no tournaments then. It'd be really fun to go play like a tournament in Asia. I think that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Do Aussies still require to be stored at a firing range? Firearms range? I want to say they stopped that. I don't know. I don't think you have to have it at a range. I think that you have to have like, you actually have to have a gun safe though. Or maybe you gotta like, let's see if like something just comes up. Oh, look at that. A paintball shooter's license. You gotta get a license. Paintball Australia. This is a website. Paintball guns or paintball markers are a firearm in Australia. To own a paintball gun or a paintball marker, an individual must have a shooter's license. The police issue these. To buy a paintball gun or paintball marker, you must have a PTA permit to require relevant state equivalent. Remember, to obtain a shooter's license, you must complete and pass a firearm safety course. Look up yellow pages. To obtain a shooter's license, PTA shooting. Find out storage requirements for your paintball gun or paintball marker. Please refer to the state relevant firearm authorities. So yeah, you gotta do a bunch of stuff. I know that like when I've heard like that you have to like, I talked to someone in Australia about this one time. They had to like go to the paintball store and they had to like pick out the gun they wanted. And then they were like, this is the one I want. And then they had to like hold it for them. And then they had to like apply to purchase it. And then they had to purchase it. And I think to get your like permit or your license, you have to have like proof of a gun safe or something like that. So before you even buy it, you have to be like, I have a gun safe that I'm going to put my gun, this in the safe. So for all the people that are like complain about America, you know, we got a lot of nonsense, and we got, you know, mass shootings, terrible health care, terrible schools, our roads are falling apart. Climate's okay. I mean, we don't have a ton of pollution here, but we, you know, at least we don't have to do that. At least you don't have to fill out a form to buy a paintball gun. You can just go buy a paintball gun. I don't have health insurance, and the schools are dying. Everyone's dying at school, but hey. Hoppers are gonna be limited to 10 rounds. I don't know what that means. They're stored at a shop. Do you really have to store? Do you really have to store it at a... I mean, you could probably store it at the paintball field as well. I want to say that in Malaysia, you have to be a part of a club. They have like sanctioned clubs, like sanctioned paintball clubs, and you have to like be a part of the club to be able to buy something. And I think that those places you have to store your equipment at the paintball field, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, think about all that money, and they're just gonna get robbed, and then what happens? I don't know. Poisoned food and water supply. I think everyone's got poisoned food and water at this point, unfortunately. We have pretty good food and water on average. You know, I mean, there's some places that don't have the nicest water. We all have plastic in our water, which is unfortunate. Shot theory. I've never had to get a shooter's license playing in Australia. I don't know what to tell you. I thought you had to. Do you live in Australia? I don't know. Maybe the laws are different. I mean, here's Action Paintball. I mean, they got this big old long thing about what you got to do. New South Wales. So that's where like Sydney and, you know, Melbourne. For every marker you wish to purchase, you must require a permit to acquire. Damn, so like every one? In New South Wales, a PTA has a life of 3 months for you to buy your new paintball marker before it passes. So you have to buy it in 3 months. Crazy though. I don't know. It's all going to hell. We're all going to hell. So we're all screwed. Okay, I'm gonna go. I want to get some food. I think this weekend I'm gonna try to work on. We're gonna try to film some what to wear paintballing, because that's the new video that I'm gonna make. What to wear playing paintball. It's probably not that exciting to you guys, but it's one of the most searched for topics on the internet. So we're gonna, you know, make a video and hope people watch it. Yep, a paintball shop equals paintball field. Yeah. I imagined. I mean, you could probably keep it at the paintball store too. Wow, look at this, the Northern Territory. The Northern Territory in Australia. Unfortunately, although it is legal to play paintball in the Northern Territory, at this time, it is illegal to own your own paintball marker. That's crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I mean, I'm all for, I think that as time goes on, right, I'm more and more for like gun bans, or, you know, figuring out a way to like, I don't know. I don't even know. We just gotta figure out mass shootings. I mean, it's like crazy, you know? It's crazy that every day, like, there's a crazy mass shooting. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't even know. I totally was going to say something. I totally forgot. What is a $5 biggie bag? Dude, I like Wendy's, though. Out of all fast food places, Wendy's is one of the best. I really like hamburgers that have, like, you know, everything on them. I really like lettuce and tomatoes and pickles. And there's not a lot of fast food places that actually do that. Wendy's is one of them. I really love me a Wendy's, I think, Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe. I think that's what they're called. I love me a Whopper from Burger King. It's just like a big Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe. I mean, you could probably get something similar to that at Wendy's too. But In-N-Out is still the best. It's still the best. Mark, have paintball drills in school? You're down to help. Okay, I know you saw yourself in that last video. I was like, Mark's gonna see himself in this video. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm gonna try to figure out all the scenes and everything I want to actually film. Whataburger is not good. I don't understand Whataburger. It's not good, right? I mean, I've been to Whataburger not all that much, maybe like 10 times max in my life, 8 times, I mean, maybe like 5 to 6. It's not good. I just don't understand. It's just not that good. Like, Wendy's is better, Burger King is better, In-N-Out's better, Five Guys is better, Shake Shack's better. I don't get it. It just didn't seem that good. I mean, at least the one I went to, maybe only like 2. So it's not like I'm like going to all the Whataburgers because I don't live anywhere close. It's just not good. I remember it being like weird and cheap feeling. It felt like I was going back to the 90s. It felt like 1993. And this was like, you know, a couple years ago. So I don't quite understand. Once they sold, it isn't the same anymore. I don't even know. I'm not even sure. I know that I went to the one in Texas. I mean, I was in Texas once like years ago. And the times I've gone to Texas since then, I've just not even gone back. It just wasn't good. I was like, what is happening? Old Soul. Junior Shakespeare Deluxe might be a $4 for 4 burgers. Wait. Dang, that's a good deal. It's deluxe. I don't even know what the prices are. I don't really eat fast food all that much. When I do, it's Alberto's. I go to like, you know, the weird Mexican restaurants, like fast food Mexican restaurants. Better healthcare, mental health assistance, no gun bans, please. And I don't want to ban anything. I don't want to ban anything. You know, it's like I look at like the people I know that are into guns, right? And I'm like, they all just like shooting guns at targets, you know? It's like every single person I know that's into guns, maybe they have like some sort of self-defense thing for home or something, but most of them just like shooting targets. And, you know, shooting targets and shooting stuff's just fun, you know? But sometimes, you know, there's cool things and idiots ruin it for the rest of us. You know, it's just like all the laws in America. I mean, the reasons we have laws is for dumb people. I mean, I don't really follow the laws or break any of the laws because I'm not an idiot, you know? So sometimes, unfortunately, the idiots ruin it for the rest of us. I mean, we're never going to ban guns either. Like, that'd be insane. That's definitely not going to happen. A metal detector. Yeah, that's what's crazy too. I'm sure our high school spent close to $1 million on the football field, so shouldn't be hard. I don't know. You know, it is crazy that there's like cops and metal detectors in schools too. I mean, I can't think about like, you know, when I was in elementary school or junior high or whatever, high school, all through the 90s, I couldn't imagine, like, wouldn't that suck? That just metal detectors all over the place reminding you that there at any moment could be a shootout. It's like, it's crazy. It's just wild. You know, and growing up, there was no fear. I had no fear of anything because nothing would ever happen. And now kids growing up, all kinds of gnarly stuff's happening. In real life and on the internet. Definitely losing our Whata pride. Yeah, I should have. Fucking Whataburger is terrible. I mean, in California, it used to be like In-N-Out. Everyone was like, In-N-Out burger is the best. And it was like cool because it was like from, you know, California. And it was like, you know, our hamburger place or whatever. But now they're all over the place. In-N-Out burger is expanding everywhere. I kind of wish we'd have a White Castle, though. That would be cool. I'd take a White Castle. All right, guys. I'm going to go find out what's going on for dinner. And I have a bunch of chicken in the refrigerator that I cooked yesterday that I might make. My nose is like dry. Alright guys, it's been real. I'll come back next Thursday if we want. Next Thursday maybe we'll have more to talk about. In the meantime, enjoy yourselves. Maybe go play paintball this weekend. If you're somewhere where it's not mega hot, Mark's like, if you're not somewhere where it's mega hot, you know, maybe go play paintball this weekend. I know here it's going to be in the high 80s. Next weekend I think it's going to be 110 though, so got to get to the paintball field while we can. Thanks guys.